Hi guys, welcome to today's tutorial. We're looking at box and whisker plots. So far we've looked at things like the mean, finding the mode and range, etc. So I'm just going to do a quick regather of that information. So let's say we have 2, 6, 8, 10 and let's say 12 and 12. So first of all, how do we find the mean? Okay, so hopefully you remember that for the mean, we simply add all the numbers together. So that means we're doing 2 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 plus 12 plus 12. And then we divide by however many numbers there are. In this case, there are 6 numbers. So if we do this, it should be something like 50 divided by 6, which gives us approximately 8 1/3. If I'm looking for the mode, which is the most common number, the mode will be 12. If I'm looking for the range, we're looking for the highest minus the lowest, which is 10. And then the last one, which is for us today, it's the most important thing, the median, we put them in highest to lowest, which they are, cross one off from either side until we get a middle number. In this case, we have 2 middle numbers, so we need to write the middle of 8 and 10, which is going to be 9. If I'm not sure, just add them together and divide by 2. Now that last step is the most important for today's lesson, because today's lesson we're going to look at what is called a box and whisker plot. In short, it's going to be a little box that kind of looks like this, alright, that has 5 points of data. It will contain the lowest score and the highest score. It will contain what we call Q2, which is known as the median, which we just did. It also has Q1 and Q3, which is often referred to as the lower quartile and the upper quartile. And basically, it splits your data into quarters. Okay, so you have the first 25% here, up to quartile 1. The second 25%, which takes up to the median, which makes sense because that's 50%. The next 25% quartile 3, and the last 25% that takes you up to the highest score. So basically divide your data into 4 groups, I guess, okay, or four sections. So let's have a look at a question. So often you'll be given, call this EG1, you're getting a set of data. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We have 9 numbers. So there will be a slight difference when we have odd and even numbers. So whenever we're asked to draw a box plot, the very first thing we need to do, I guess, is to have a 5-point summary. That's very, very important. We need to have the lowest score, Q1, Q2, which is the median, Q3, and we need to have the highest. Okay, so we need those 5 pieces of information before drawing our box plot. So let's start by doing that. We're going to find the median first of all. Okay, well, actually, no, we're going to put the lowest and the highest score because that seems to be sense. Lowest score seems to be 19. The highest score looks to be, what, 72. Now, unfortunately, this data is not put from smallest to lowest. So let's do that. We've got the 19 there, followed by, looks by the 24, then the 25, then we've got, what, 36, then we've got 44, 51, and 59, we've got 68 and 72. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, it's really important to make sure you cross your numbers off and you recount them. So now what we can do is start working by crossing them off from either end. You can do a couple at a time if you wish. And what we're going to have in this instance, we're going to have one middle number, and that is our median. So we call median quartile 2. So that answer is going to be 44. Now quartile 1, well, it's a quarter, and if I guess the median's a half, how do you find a quarter? Well, it's a half of a half. So we're actually going to do the same thing. Now we've used this number here, so I'm going to start to the left of it and cross off the 36 and the 19. And in this instance, I now have 2 middle numbers. What's in between 24 and 25? Well, 24.5 and that's our quartile 1. Same thing on the right hand side, across 1 off the bottom, 1 off the top. We've got 2 middle numbers. Now this case it's a little bit harder, so I'm going to get my calculator, I'm going to add together 59 and 68, and then I'm going to divide that answer by 2 to get 63.5. So just like you would for any median which you have 2 middle numbers, and that's going to be my quartile 3. Okay, so I'm going to put those numbers in, 24.5 and 63.5. Alright, so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to have a bit of a number line here. Always important to have a scale. Now my lowest is 19, so I'm going to start here at 15 and do 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. Okay, so you can go up by any scale that you wish, but obviously you can leave big gaps. You might have gone up by 10s had you wanted to. That's no dramas. You don't need to start at 0, but certainly you need to make sure all the numbers are on the number line that you need. Otherwise, obviously, it's not going to work. 65 and 70. Okay, so it's always important to start with a number line. Then it's a matter of simply of putting your dots in a line. So that's 19. Then 24 and a half will sort of be here. Then we've got 44, which is just going to be below 45. We've got 63.5, a little bit in the middle. And the highest is 72, so around about there. Now they're all in a row, as you can see. And now it's a matter of joining the last two. They become our whiskers. And then drawing a box, as you can see. And then that middle dot just becomes a line, and that's always our median. So you can see that our lowest score is 19, our Q1 is 24.5, our median, which is that line in the middle of the box, is 44, then we've got 63.5, and then we've got our last one, 72. Now, usually I don't do those numbers there, except if, like the scale, it might be hard to tell what the actual number might be. For example, it might be hard to see this is 24.5. If that's hard to tell or to read off the graph, I'll write it above. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So what I would like you to do, you can have a crack at this one. This is going to be slightly different because it's even amount numbers, but still have a go at it and see what you can come up with. Okay, so we're going to call this example 2. So likewise, I'm going to make sure that it's smallest to highest. In fact, look at it, it is smallest to highest already, so that's no need to change it. So once again, I want my 5-point summary of data. So we've got my lowest, we've got Q1, we've got Q2, which is our median, Q3, and our highest. So first of all, our lowest and highest are pretty easy, 7 and 23. So now let's cross off to find our median. 1, 2, 1, 2. We have two middle numbers. Add them together is 25, so it's going to be 12.5. Now, notice there that because we had two middle numbers, I had to write my own number in. Now that I'm going to find Q1 by finding the median again, because I never used this 11, I'm now going to use him in my set of data. Cross those two off, I've now got 10. I'm going to cross those two off, oops, those two off. Let's redo that. Across the 14 and the 23, I'm left with the 17. Slightly different to that last example because in this case, I hadn't used one of the numbers that was written in there. So now I can put these here, 10, 12.5, and 17. Draw my number line. These are less numbers this time, so it's not too bad. So I'm going to start at 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. Oh, I might go to 30. And I can put my numbers on. So 7, 10, 12 and a half, well, it's going to be halfway, 17, and 23. And a simple matter of drawing my whiskers, drawing my box plot, drawing my median. And once again, if you're not sure about the exact numbers, 7, 10, 12.5, you can just draw them up top. And then we've got them there. Okay, they can ask you questions such as, what is the interquartile range? Now we've spoken about the interquartile range before, I believe. That's saying it's the third quartile, take away the first quartile. Think about range. Right at the beginning we said range was highest minus the lowest score. Interquartile range is the highest quartile minus the lowest quartile. In this case, that'd be 17 take away 10, so the answer would simply be 7. Okay, not particularly too challenging. The last one, I'm just going to give you a different style of graph. Okay, it doesn't really matter. These are all in order anyway, so this is what we call a stem and leaf. Okay, just remembering that the first score is 19, last score is 52. It's going to be a fairly big one again. So we've got our lowest, we've got our Q1, our Q2, our Q3, and highest. See how I do that every single time? It's really, really important. So first of all, my lowest is 19, because it's 19. My highest is 52, because it's 52. Then I'm going to cross numbers off to find my medians. If you don't like doing it in a stem and leaf graph, what you can do is rewrite the numbers straight out. That can be a little bit easier sometimes. Okay, I'm going to cross 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 1. Okay, so finally I get my middle number of 38, just like you would normally do to find the median. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Now I've used that 8, so I'm not going to use it again. So I'm going to start at the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 1. Okay, perfect. So I've got 30. And then do my other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 1, 5. So I've got 45. Okay, and now it's a matter of drawing my number line. We can do, I might go by 10 this time. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So again, just choose an appropriate style of number line and then plot your numbers on. So we've got 19, which is going to be about here, then 30, 38, 45, 57, draw my whiskers, draw my box, and my median line in the middle. Once again, they're pretty challenging numbers there, so I'm just going to write the numbers above it, just so we can see. And can you do the interquartile range? So IQR is equal to 45 take away 30, which is going to equal to 15. Alrighty folks, I hope this made a bit of sense. That's how you draw a box plot via a 5-point summary. Okay, make sure you do your work, practice the questions, and any questions, please email me. Have a great day.